Hello, out there in YouTube world. I'm covered up with a blanket right now, and well, I'm still very sick. In fact, I feel worse than I did yesterday. Probably sound a lot worse than I did yesterday too. So let's see, my nose is staying so clogged up that I can't get much sleep. In fact, I sleep for maybe 5 minutes before my sleep apnea and the closed up nose kick in together and wake me up. So yeah, I haven't been getting much sleep. It feels like I could pop my eyeballs out of my head. But I'm still going to try to make a video. Try not to talk too long. I'm sorry that yesterday's was so short. This one will probably be about the same length, because I really feel like shit. It's like a cold or a flu, and I've just taken some off-brand generic NyQuil stuff, and it should be kicking in sometime soon and knocking me out. So, what is it I want to talk about today? Well, I just got turned down for my disability. I don't know if I've explained the extent of my heart problems to everyone, but I'm in congestive heart failure. Now, how bad is my congestive heart failure? Well, my congestive heart failure is so bad that, that sounds like I'm setting it up for a joke. My congestive heart failure is so bad that my cardiologist wants me to have a defibrillator put in, and then look to be having a heart transplant within the next 2 to 5 years. And I'm like, well, that's not good. And at the time of this being said, the only knowledge we had was my cardiac functions were at 15%, possibly a little lower. Now, in the course of almost a year, I doubled my cardiac functions up to 30%. And they still want me to go through with it. The reason why I'm refusing to go through with it is there's still one more thing to be tried before going into actual surgery, because I'm prone to infections, and it takes me a little while to recover from even a simple surgery, so I'm trying to avoid it at all costs. As I stated, I have sleep apnea. Now, if I can get on a, I can't think of the name of the machine right now, but it's one of those oxygen machines that help you breathe during the night. That will, in theory, increase my cardiac functions up to 25%. Not only is this documented on WebMD, but there are people I've known who have been in heart failure who have gotten out with the same method. My current cardiologist refuses to allow me to do this. He says it makes no difference. He also states that it makes no difference that I doubled the cardiac functions, even though the requirement for defibrillator and transplant is when a person reaches below 35%. And I'm at 30% the last that it was checked. Now that's only 5% off. 5% is a small margin. Now, the problem is my wife is the only one working. I can't work, and even if I did go to work, I'd be fired shortly because I run out of breath going up steps. I run out of breath doing just about anything, standing. And this is a side effect of not just the heart failure, but the medication I'm on. And another side effect of both is I can tend to fall asleep at inopportune times. I can be talking to you and doze off. So I tend to do these more towards the evening, because I seem to have about a 2 to 3 hour window where I'm more awake than normal. Now, why am I telling you this? Well, partially because I'm upset that I have an actual legitimate condition and I got turned down. This is my third time of being turned down. And each time they turn me down, they tell me I can go work at a call center. There's one call center around here, and they will not hire me back. And even then, I don't know if the stress of working at a call center will cause problems, because the last time I worked there, I was 18 years old and much, much more healthy. Because I do tend to get winded if I'm on the phone for too long. I'm getting winded right now, but that's partially because I'm sick. Anyways, and I know I can't be hired back there because I've requested them to reconsider several times. I've tried over the years. There's no hiring me back. Now, there's another reason that I need to get on disability. Is medical. Yes, medical. And why do I need medical? Well, I need medical to help cover these medical bills that I've racked up for operations that have not been successful, operations that have only told us what we've already known, and also to get the machine I need. Once I get that machine, I'm quite certain it will bring my cardiac functions up to well over 50%. Once it's there, I should be fine enough to be able to move around more. Or even before it gets to that point, I should be fine enough to move around more, thus losing weight, which will also help greatly. Though I am only 278 pounds, that is too much for my frame. And you might be sitting there and you could be well over my weight and not have anything wrong with you. That's true. Being overweight doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have heart problems. Just means you can. I know people who are 500 pounds and they are perfectly healthy. They don't get winded going upstairs. They beat me going up the stairs. That's 500 pounds. That's almost 300, well, that's a little over 300 pounds more than me. So, and I know a lot of people, they think when it comes down to disability that it's a bunch of leeches on it, and that is true. And there are laws currently in the works to get some of these leeches off, such as the mandatory drug testing, which I'm all in favor for. Even though I am for legalizing marijuana, I don't think that marijuana should be what people are using their government benefits for. Sorry. Not when there's people out there that actually need it. Because for the most part, these individuals who are using it for drugs are just using it for drugs. They don't have an actual problem. They are working jobs where they're being paid under the table. And being paid under the table, they don't have to report it to the government. Thus, they're making more money than a lot of people because they're getting paid from the government and from their employer. And I wish that would be investigated. But as for someone like me who has had prior work experience, what I've already paid out towards Social Security would be coming back to me. Now, seeing that I am in congestive heart failure, 25 years old, and chances are I will not see the day where I can receive Social Security, I don't see anything wrong with me going on ahead and receiving what I've paid in. But they have a little loophole where they automatically have to turn you down if you've ever worked a job. This means I have to get a lawyer. Now, a lot of people say, depending on the lawyer, you can have it settled in 2 to 3 months. I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping that in 2 to 3 months I can be sitting here staring into the camera, at least 20, 30 pounds lighter, and not looking down the knife at the possibility of needing a heart transplant in the next couple of years. I do not plan to stay on disability for the rest of my life. I have goals I want to do. I want to become a writer. And I want to do other things. And being on disability would not allow that. I want to have an actual career. in writing. So this is something that I have to do now. And is this messed up? Yes, it's messed up. I'm sure some of you all may have seen the thing being reposted on Facebook about the individual who had, I think it was pancreatic cancer or bladder cancer, where he had to quit his job and work to get on disability. And, you know, he knows how hard it is. Even in his statement, I believe he even brings up about the fact that by default they're supposed to turn you down if you've ever worked. Now he got his the second time he appealed. This is my third appeal, going on to my fourth. Why I'm bringing a lawyer in. And I never wanted to be on disability. Not that I think I'm too good for it. It's just, it's something I never wanted to do. I wanted to support myself. But when the bills get too much and they're a burden on not only your back, but your spouse. She's working 2 jobs. She went into work earlier today at 4 o'clock at Little Caesars. And then she doesn't get off from the hotel that she works at until 7 in the morning. She gets maybe a 5-minute break between the 2 jobs. And I feel like shit for this. But anyways, you know, it's a crooked system. It's a good system if they fixed it and got all these leeches off of it. And I know a lot of people would want to kill me because I've said that. But when you're driving around in a car that just came out last year, and you're bringing 2 different checks to Walmart to have cash, because I worked at Walmart before and I've seen it where people's names are on the disability check and an employer check, and you can see on that employer check where no taxes have been held out, you know that was under the table. And I was the one that did my job and turned them down. But there's other people that don't, and the bank sure as hell doesn't. I gotta go lay down. So, I know this probably wasn't much of a video. Hell, most of my videos since I've gotten sick haven't been much. But you got some stuff to look forward to. I definitely don't want to do the sermon thing with my nose all clogged up. I want it to be taken completely seriously. And I want to give it all the respect I believe that I should be giving it. So, until next time, or tomorrow, I mean, unless I die tonight because I can't breathe because snot building up in my throat. Thumbs up, thumbs down, you know the whole